Okay, this is going to be a video about how to get the center console out of the Peugeot 206. The reason you might want to do that is because your heater control, which kind of looks like this, has lights in it. These little lights that come on to try and show you where things are when it's dark, and they are here, here, and here. And they're just these little wheat bulb things which you can get. They're ridiculously cheap. You can buy, dozens of them for a few bucks. But anyway, it's fairly easy getting in here. I always like to do these things backwards because it's kind of nice to know where you're going, and then see how you got there, I think, sometimes. So here we are. It's a fairly simple situation, although it's a little kind of difficult in places, especially connecting the cables onto the back for the flap control, the other flap control for where it pushes the air, and also the temperature control, but we'll get to that. So, simple device. There's the back, electrical connection, wire connection here, wire connection here, and a wire connection up here. Nothing really falls off of this, which is great. So you can pull it apart fairly simply. The front looks like that, and here's the deal. Don't try to take these off. You don't need to take them off. They're actually captive on this whole fascia plate. So yeah, if you try and take those off, you'll break the thing. So pretty simple to take apart, this part anyway. So here we've got these little controls here. This one goes on the orange one, so that just pops on there. This one pops on here for the AC. That's the green light. On the back of this, you'll see there's some arrows, and which will line up. You can't quite see that, but they'll line up with a little bit of a indicator mark, which you can just kind of see right there. And also on the inside, this one here, you can see there's an arrow. And when those line up, basically everything's set. These knobs are at 12, and the fan control is all the way on. And that will make sure that those fit on there correctly. You can also check by looking in the back, but it's kind of easier being able to have those like that. So I'm going to put that part back together. That just snaps on. It's got a couple of clips here, one here and one there, and basically four clips on the bottom, which fit into those. Sorry, 3 clips on the bottom, fits into those 3, and then you can see the 2 holes up there for the top clips. Right, I'm going to put this part together. Pretty easy, just sort of snaps together, and then if you replace these, you just pull them out and push them back in. They're just little wheat bulbs. They're no twisting or anything like that. You can't really take the socket out, so don't even try. I'm going to put this back together, and then we'll step back into the car and look at how it came out. This is what everything looks like when it's taken apart. Up here you've got the center display. If the lamps are out on that, they're the same little wheat bulbs as well. You can take this out. There's 2 Torx screws down there, and then that display pops out. You just disconnect it. You can do those. There's your vents there. Right here and here are a couple of screws that hold the center console on, and the rest of it is just snapped in. Basically, it just all fits together quite nicely. This is the hole here where the heater controls are and the climate controls are. This is where the stereo is. Stereo is really easy to pull out, and that's where you start. So we're going to do this basically back to front. So the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to put this thing in. You've got the electrical connector, a white cable with a wire on it, and there somewhere is a black cable with a wire on it, this one here, and then you have another one which controls the flap. Sorry, 2 black cables, that one there and that one there. The on the back of the controls, you can see you have a white one and a black one and a black one. So basically the cables are color coded. So the trick is you got to take those cables off to get this out. The cables feed quite nicely through here. You can see these little holes, and then they sit and they come around and come up through that little notch there on each one. This one up here is more, this one on the top is more just of an S-bend. I took this one out first and then these other two, and it's a bit of a manipulation to get that to work. Each of those cables is then held on by a clip. These clips basically sit in these like this. All right, so they go like that. So you can actually have them ready to go. They sit in there like that. Have them ready to go once the cable's in, and you can snap that down over the top. So you don't have to take these all the way out, but they will fall out. And you kind of don't want to have them fall down in there. You can get them back out. You can fish them out, but it's kind of a pain. So anyway, be careful with that. So I'm sure you can figure out how to do that. Now the thing about this, which is kind of interesting, is that it doesn't actually, once you get all those cables on and everything, and it's ready to install, it doesn't go in from the front. It actually goes in and comes in from the back. So you actually have to have this inside here like this, and then all connected up. And then what happens is it basically slots onto these two pins here, and then there's a couple of snaps and torque screws that hold it in. So it's fairly well located, but that's the important thing to keep in mind, is you have to put it inside the console, and when you're going to take it out, you'll basically get to this point, take out those torque screws, and what you have to do is basically, there's a couple of clips on the top, see them here, there's a clip, doing this with an iPhone, clip here and a clip here. Those basically clip on the top. You push those down and push this back into the dash, and then you can lift it out and start dealing with all those cables and stuff like that. So I'll let you figure out how to do that, because if you're going to do this much, I'm sure you can figure out how to put those cables on. Anyway, I'll get those cables all connected up, and then we'll look at how the rest of it all goes together. Okay, now that you magically got all those wires clipped in on the back, you know, it's actually really fiddly. And remember, when you're pulling it out, you can just reach over the back and lift these clips up and pop those. Just do be careful you don't drop them down the back. It is kind of a pain to fish them out. So anyway, you can see how that's sitting inside that fascia. So all we need to do now is locate it on these two kind of locating points down here, and then snap it in. So basically what we're going to do is bring that in. I'm doing all this one-handed, of course. We're going to bring that in. Oh yeah, remember to connect the electrical wire back there. It's kind of a pain if you forget that and then have to take this all the way apart. That snaps in back there. You've got a couple of locating pins that will fit right there, and pretty much from here it's straightforward. Those two locating pins, once that's in, pull that forward, it'll snap. You can see these two catches here. So when you're taking it apart, what you want to do is pop those two catches down and push this forward. Push this towards inside. So if you do that, you'll see that it actually pops inside, and everything happens this way. It doesn't come this way. It actually gets taken out through the back. So once you've got those, I say you got those in, and it's properly located, you'll see it just snaps in like that. And then remember, you've got 4 Torx screws up in the corner to hold that tight. Okay, the next bit is the fascia over the top, which I'm going to stop for a second because I'm going to do a couple little things up here, and then I'll show you how to put that on. So this fascia plate has 2 clips on the bottom. You can see them there, those 2 silver clips, and then 1 to either side of the piece above the climate controls, the heater controls there, and just below the stereo. So those snap in, and then there's a couple of torque screws that are on the top. So easy enough. So that basically it just sits in like that once it's nicely low. So to finish off, basically this piece here comes on and then just pulls down and snaps in. So the whole procedure, and to take it apart, start here. This pushes forward, pops out. We've got a couple of torque screws here. Undo those, lift this forward, pop the clips here, 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 and here. And this whole piece comes off with the controls. You have to take the stereo out first. We're going to get to that. This piece here clips on the top, push that in, and then take everything out from the back. While this top piece is out, if you need to get to any lamps in there, they're just there. Okay, and we'll show you the stereo removal in just a second. So here's the stereo removal where this all starts. My favorite trick is to use just bamboo skewers, you know, barbecue skewers, and take the pointy end. You'll find 4 holes. These fit perfectly. You just push in there, you'll feel some resistance and feel a clip kind of push back. Just go a little bit further till it kind of stops, and pop another one in up here. There we go. And pop another one in here. There we go. I think that one needs to go a little bit further. Yep, that one needs to go a little further. Drop this other one on the ground. Here we go. And pop that in, and you'll feel that. Now, the cool thing is that with if you have 2 hands, you can even just do this with 1 hand now. Just grab those skewers, and then the stereo comes right out. Easy. Put it back in. Just take all those out, of course. You don't need to have those in there. Anyway, you know, they'll sell you some special tools if you want, but this is it. Just make sure that's lined up. You'll feel when it's lined up, and then it just snicks in there and pops in, just like that. All done. So there you go. To take this whole thing apart, just to recap, here you go. Stereo comes out. This bit lifts up and out, forward towards the car, that comes out. 2 torque screws up here, 2 snaps on this piece here and here, that comes out. Clips on the top of the air conditioner heater unit. Push that in, take the cables off the back, take the electrical connection off the back, and basically all that, and then you can kind of winkle that out. So there you go. So now you'll be able to change all these bulbs, your indicator, your kind of display bulbs here, the bulbs in these buttons, any of the bulbs that are in the climate control. Hope that's been helpful for you.